How's it going, folks? Recording another best ball draft here. Doing a puppy draft. Been trying to get a few of these in to get some practice in for Best Ball Mania 4 starts for me. It's already open, but I was waiting for the schedule release to start pumping in my Best Ball Mania 4s. So I will start them on Friday. The schedule release coming Thursday night. Today would be Wednesday. So looking like pick 8. Notice we have Silas and Moxie from Spike Week Discord in here. Don't recognize any of the other people, but they're probably somebody else. I'm guessing this person's probably in there too. So at pick 8, kind of have interest in taking one of Bijan, Diggs, or AJ Brown. Probably going to try to force a 0 RB build if I take AJ Brown or Diggs, because I'm really, really light on the elite QBs. So what I would like to do is take an elite QB with one of those guys and then try to gain back, some room at wide receiver by going 0 running back. It's really, really hard to go 0 running back right now, though, just because of the way the values fall. But we'll see how things go. If Bijan falls to me, I'm just going to take Bijan. Okay, Silas takes Bijan. Okay, so now we have to choose if we want AJ Brown or Stephon Diggs. I'm going to go ahead and take Diggs this time. The reason for that is I don't have a single share of Josh Allen, and I do have a share of Hurts and the puppy, so tiebreaker. I actually have AJ Brown a spot ahead of Diggs, but we'll just mix it up here so that we can get a little bit of access to Josh Allen. Haven't been taking much Kincaid, so it'd be nice to maybe get Kincaid in this build, but that may or may not be possible. Wow, AJ Brown went all the way to the turn. That's crazy. Looks like we have some RB drafters in here. I think that Austin Eckler is way, way better than Barkley and Taylor. I don't really get Austin Eckler's ADP. To me, Austin Eckler is arguably ahead of Bijan and equal with CMC, but so I'm just going to take Josh Allen here. So the other reason why we would be prone to want to take a 0 RB build with this Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs stack is every single person that's in this tournament is going to have Josh Allen and plus Stephon Diggs in their repertoire, right? This person's got Mahomes and Kelsey. So AJ Brown, Hurts is super common. Mahomes and Kelsey is super common. Josh Allen, Diggs is super common. So if you're taking this super common start, you have to try to find a way to differentiate. And with 0 RB looking so bad right now, and it's not that it's bad, it's just that it's difficult to do because there's so many times where it comes up and you're oh my God, the running back is such a good pick here. The running back is such a good pick. So because of that, I would like to go with a 0 RB build because, it's a more unique build. People do not draft 0 RB that much, and they draft it even less right now than I've ever seen, at least in the last few years. Even the staunchest 0 RB drafters don't seem to be drafting 0 RB much. So we're definitely not going to have a chance at any of these wide receivers up here. So we might be looking at Debo or Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a guy I haven't gotten much of that I wouldn't mind getting a share of. We also have the opportunity or option of going Mark Andrews and kind of going with the 0 RB build. If there is an RB, if there are RBs that we would consider, they would probably be Stevenson or Breece Hall because they play in the same division as Josh Allen, so that could be a Week 17 matchup. With the schedule released tomorrow, we'll know the Week 17 matchups for sure. Interested to see if Hurts makes it back to the Devonta Smith guy, and he doesn't. Starting with Justin Jefferson and Hurts for the guy at the turn. Oh, brutal. I think if he would have went Chris Olave there, that would have been really, really nice start for him. Not that I actually like Jacobs in a vacuum better than Olave, but you're just going to have the chance to take Jacobs there a lot. And like getting both Hurts and Olave at the turn seems like it's not going to be very easy. So I kind of got my eye on Mark Andrews or Calvin Ridley. Yeah, those guys were always going to get eat up. So Silas has to take DK Metcalf here. I'd be pretty surprised if he makes like a different pick. So I think this goes Metcalf, and then the next guy can't take Mark Andrews because he has Kelsey. I mean, he could, but I don't think he will. Wow, Silas not taking DK Metcalf. That's insane. Yeah. So I'm take Mark Andrews. Like I said, I really do want to, if it's at all reasonable, weight this build towards being 0 RB because I have Josh Allen and Diggs together. Now, I wouldn't do this every time I have Allen and Diggs, but like I said, this is a puppy draft, and I'm practicing for my Best Ball Mania 4s, which I care way, way more about than this puppy draft. So I want to see how this build goes if I go 0 RB with Allen and Diggs and like really kind of force it as opposed to letting it just naturally happen. So I think we'll be looking at probably taking Christian Watson or Drake London. They both have like decent later QB options in Ritter and Jordan Love. I think most of the people that take Josh Allen are going to wait like super, super long to take another QB. So that's a reason to kind of want to be able to take Jordan Love to like get away from that. But because we are trying to like fit our RBs into a certain pocket here, Love might fall into that pocket. We know that Ritter won't. So Love is 142. Dumbass. So it's around the Roshan Keandre tier. I do think it's like pretty important to get somebody like this is like kind of a tier break for me after Roshan. So I do think it's kind of interesting that we probably do kind of want to make sure that we can pick from this tier. So that's a reason to not want to be taking Christian Watson there because like if we take Christian Watson, then we're kind of targeting Love. Not necessarily, but we want to at least leave that open. Whereas like with Drake London, we get to leave Ritter open. Ritter, has rushing upside, so he's like a pretty good late QB to stack with Josh Allen. The only thing about Ritter is we're not going to be taking Pitts on this team because we took Mark Andrews, but that's fine. I think that those rushing QBs later are fine to pair with like one guy. So there's like no other Josh Allen stack pieces for a while. We should get pretty straightforward here as far as like running back. Like after Kenneth Walker, there's no screaming values, so we can like keep pushing running back to try to get into that 0 RB build. So 3 more rounds. So yeah, I don't want to take a running back until round 8 if I can avoid it. Would really like to get James Conner in round 8. And we're going to shoot for like a 2-7-7-2 build, I think, with this team. We might be able to go 6 at running back, depending how lucky we get. Like, you can hit a whole bunch of running backs in that pocket around, like that starts with like David Montgomery and James Conner and kind of ends with Roshan and Keandre. If you get enough guys in that kind of pocket, then you don't have to go 7. I mean, you never really have to go 7 with a 0 RB, but it's nice to be able to. So imagine this time Silas takes Terry McLaurin and doesn't get too fancy with it. Yep. Ah, thank God. So for us, it's between JSN and Godwin. I think we'll take Godwin. So I guess we want to keep a little bit of an eye on like where Gabe Davis is. So he's pick 80. We pick 65. Then we pick 80. So definitely not going to take him the next pick. I mean, I wouldn't. That's just too soon. I would just pick other stack options if not. But so we are going to hope Gabe Davis makes it to us in round 7. But I think with the people that are in this particular draft room, that's not super likely to happen. So of the guys on the board, I have interest in Ayuk, JSN, Lockett, Evans, Pickens. I don't really mind Addison. But definitely don't think this is a draft where we're looking to go for Baker Mayfield, but could always leave that as an option if we kind of just get snaked on Ritter. You also can go 1 quarterback when you're drafting. Oh, this is an easy pick then. So I was between Godwin and JSN. Pretty happy to get JSN on the way back. Dawson Knox is also like an option for Josh Allen stacking. I don't actually hate him, but he's still like not priced correctly. Like I don't hate the idea of having him on my team. I just still think he's too expensive. Like once Knox is going behind Mayer and Laporta, that's when I'm like starting to get interested in the fact that he's still above those two guys. It's just really tough for me to get to him. If there is a spot to get to him, it's in this Josh Allen stack. So if I miss Kincaid, which good chance I will miss him, then I might put Knox on my radar. So we're looking to make one more pick before we start really considering running back. We could eschew that and take running back a pick early if we want. Like, I don't really want to take Rashad White at the moment because I think there's a chance that Tampa signs someone and his value is down. The nice thing here is, like, if we miss on Connor and Montgomery in round 8, we could probably get James Cook. Rashad White goes. Happy to see that. I want to see like as many of these running backs go as possible. So we don't even like have to take Gabe Davis if we don't want to, but certainly a consideration. So the Pittsburgh guys are pretty interesting. I like Dotson like a lot more than Gabe Davis, but I would lean Gabe Davis just for the fact that we have Josh Allen. And we've seen Gabe Davis have some monstrous games, so those can be the games that really just like, break the week with your Josh Allen. This is a pick that could definitely be Gabe Davis. Yep, Silas takes him, so that's cool. So we have the Pittsburgh guys, Dotson, or we could go for one of these running backs and not push it around. I think we get Flowers on the way back. So I'm going to go ahead and take Cam Akers here and kind of flip where we're starting our 0 RB build a little bit. The reason I did that is I don't want to get closed out of Akers, Connor, and Montgomery. I would really like one of the three to be the first of our 0 RB builds. And like if I can get two of those guys, then I can really consider going with 6 running backs. So, and if I do want to bot back to wide receiver, I'm comfortable with, any of Pickens, Dotson, QJ, or Flowers. Or even Bateman, who I think is a little ways down. So I think it gave us the most options by going with Cam Akers there. So I think we're going to get a player we want here no matter what. I want Pickens, I want Connor, I want Montgomery, I want Dotson, I want Quentin Johnson, and I want Zay Flowers. So there's also James Cook that we can consider. In some ways, James Cook is better with Josh Allen than Damian Harris because obviously he will catch more passes and has a better chance of catching a pass from Josh Allen for a touchdown. But Damian Harris is a better bet on the offense because he'll get more of the touchdowns. So if like the Josh Allen has like his kind of like ceiling season, then Damian Harris is probably getting more extra points than Cook is. So there's 3 wide receivers and 1 running back that I am super down for with this pick. There's now just 3 wide receivers that I'm super down for. And I have them in the order that they are on the board. So I think that worked out for us to take Cam Akers, right? So like we kind of got a little bit lucky in a way almost with Gabe getting sniped from us because we wouldn't have got any of the guys that we wanted to start our 0 RB build because we would have missed Akers, Connor, and Montgomery, all of which was like the 3 I was targeting to be like that first running back. So we did that flip there. So we get our 5th wide receiver within 10 rounds, which is a thing that I try to do. I don't like live by it every single draft, obviously. Especially right now with the day 2 rookies are, I think, still a little undervalued on here. I almost don't look at the round 1 rookies as rookies because I don't think that they'll necessarily start the season super slow. JSN, I mean, they might because they're all in kind of like crowded rooms, like as far as JSN and Quentin Johnson and Flowers. But like at worst, I think that they're not going to take that long to get up to speed. Like I don't think you're going to be waiting till like week 6 for them to kind of get fully into the offense. I think you might be waiting for like week 2 or 3, like you were with some other players previously, like T. Higgins his rookie year and Justin Jefferson his rookie year. Not that I think that these guys are as good as those guys, but I see more of that path to like them being involved where it's going to be a pretty short amount of time. So obviously we are kind of hurting at running back, which we expected to be, which is just fine. I would like to get like one of A-Chain or Damian Harris with my pick. I don't understand Alex Madison's price at all. Doesn't make sense to me. I think that at this point, like you have to just err on the side of betting that Dalvin Cook is staying in Minnesota. I'm not like picking this guy this high. there's still like a pretty good payoff, obviously, if Dalvin Cook does go, but like this price is also like quite high. If he was priced behind A-Chain, behind Damian Harris, and behind P Ryan, then I could get down with it, but it's just a little bit too much. So we might be drawing thin to get Damian Harris here because there's so many spike week people in this draft. Really tempted to push it to get Bateman, but all right, that takes that out of our hands. We're just going to go Damian Harris here, continue our Buffalo bet. And what I think is a great 0 RB target. Then we're going to be looking for Penny, Khalil Herbert. Keandre and Roshan are kind of like moving up, so I think that we're probably going to miss one of them on the way back. It's going to make this build a little tough because we're probably going to want 8 wide receivers. So I'm not quite sure that we're going to have good enough wide receivers to have 7, but we'll see how it plays out. We could also go with 1 quarterback or 1 tight end if we want. That's like pretty reasonable in the puppy. Don't really think I'll be doing that much in the Best Ball Mania. With 33% of the prize pool to the regular season, I'm not going to like that as much. So we have Ritter. Obviously, we could take Geno, but I'm not taking a quarterback in this window, that's for sure. So right now I'm looking at A.J. Dillon, Penny, and Khalil Herbert. Don't hate Elijah Mitchell either. I would just like these picks to not go Penny Herbert. But these people both need running backs as well. So. We could take Kincaid here. Close out tight end. All right, okay, so Kincaid goes, but we're super relieved because, all right, now I'm pretty comfortable going with 6 running backs where, like, I wanted to get at least one other big upside guy, which I think Penny's upside is obviously, like, a lot more than Herbert's. So now I think we have a little bit more optionality in, like, what we're going to do with our picks. I probably still will go after Dawson Knox. I mean, if he goes ahead of ADP, that's no big deal. And who's that other wide receiver that we could kind of target late? Khalil Shakir. There's also we can go for Deontay Hardy in round 18, which I think is a really interesting one. So that might be our 8th wide receiver. So we'll probably pick up Shakir or Deontay Hardy, maybe Dawson Knox. If we do Ritter, then obviously we're just going to end up with just Drake London to go with him. Guess we could take Hollins in round 18, but I don't love that. So on the way back, looking like we're still going to have some pretty good options at running back for this kind of 0 running back build that we did. This was pretty much exactly how I would build 0 running back. Like I said, the only real moment of change where something went a little awry was we took Cam Akers because we didn't want to get boxed out of Akers and Montgomery and who was the other guy? I'm looking at Keandre or Roshan. I like Keandre more than Jamal Williams. I do take Keandre a lot more than Jamal Williams. I think I'm just going to do it anyway. I just like him more. I'm a Saints fan, so I'm a big Keandre fan. Oh, James Conner was the other guy I was trying to think of before. So yeah, we wanted to get one of Montgomery Akers or James Conner to start this, to kick it off with our running backs. So we got sniped on Gabe Davis, but then it gave us one of those three guys where we probably would have missed all three of them if we didn't get sniped on Gabe Davis. Another good reason there, like if I was going to reach on one, reaching on Keandre instead of Roshan, is obviously I don't want Keandre and Jamal Williams, but I'm fine with Keandre and Roshan. Could take Jerick McKinnon. He's an interesting one. We can start to look at like other positions. Like we could take a Rashee Rice or an Alec Pierce. Wouldn't mind that. So yeah, I think this elite QB 0 RB is very nice. So we're just going to take Roshan here. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, this is why I really like this 0 RB when you do the elite QB, elite target combo. It's like this running back room is fantastic for 0 RB. We just need to add like one more guy and we're done. Wouldn't hate getting Jalen Warren. Devin Singletary's fine. Then there's like Bigsby and some other later options that are all still pretty good. I don't want to go out of my way to like force Dawson Knox either, so if we miss Dawson Knox, it's totally acceptable. Obviously, I'd rather have Kincaid than Knox, but I mean, there's still the outs to like, you know, Kincaid gets injured or Knox just has like a 2 touchdown game in the playoffs, which he'll still be on the field for plenty of opportunities at that. Shakir versus Deontay Hardy is an interesting one. Hardy, you know, you can just get in round 18. So there's that. Also need to kind of like keep an eye out for, we want to make sure that we get some sort of stacking action with our final quarterback. So like one failsafe we could go to is like Sam Howell with Logan Thomas as like our final quarterback tight end. Then we'd probably have to get Curtis Samuel as well. Nice. I know we said we wanted Jalen Warren, but I actually want somebody else right now. Yes! So I really wanted Algier there because even though he doesn't catch a lot of passes, if Bijan goes down, obviously Algier is like moon, and we can get Algier now with Ritter and have a little bit of correlation with Algier, Ritter, and London. But the key is we have to like not miss Ritter, which can be somewhat difficult. Did he like already go? Is he like lower than this? Holy crap. He is down there. Pick 201. So if somebody's going to snipe him from us around this area, then we're going to have to just accept that and move on. Okay, we did not get Dawson Knox. So it looks like we're going to be pretty weak on the stacking for Mr. Josh Allen. So we are going to very much try to get Shakir or we don't need to take any more running backs. Peoples Jones, MVS. I think Laporta is like a giant tier break at tight end. I think he has a ton of upside to like get on in there in your flex and that sort of stuff. So our build looks pretty weird here because we're sitting here with 5 wide receivers and 6 running backs, which is rare. But this is what'll happen sometimes when you're catching up in a 0 RB build. Really, really like this running back room for a 6 RB, 0 RB build. It is nice. So yeah, I do think, you don't want to do this 0 RB every time you do elite QB, but I do think it gives you a nice way to get some uniqueness with the super common, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs combo. Sam Howell, Silas Bud. This is just not necessary. It's 40 picks above ADP. I guess he probably saw all of us guys from Spike Week in this draft and was like, fuck you guys. I'm not letting it happen. There's some semi-decent wide receivers on the board. I think I pretty commonly take 3 rookie wide receivers and 8 wide receiver build. I think 4 is like fine, but I generally prefer to keep it to 3, but it's really hard right now because that's just where the value is. So like if MVS goes off and Peoples Jones go off, then we're pretty much forced. I guess we could take Shaheed. Don't really love Shaheed. So we do need to be mindful that like 1 million quarterbacks are gone in this draft. Like, definitely not picking Ritter with our next pick, but I have to consider it the pick after that. MVS, 19 picks after ADP. This is just like an insane draft where like so many quarterbacks have gone. So if we do get completely screwed on Ritter, right, we have the fallback of Baker Mayfield with Chris Godwin. We also have the option of going with just Josh Allen. So like you'll take a 0 at quarterback that 1 week, but like you can actually overcome that in these. I think it's much, much, much worse in the Best Ball Mania 4 format. Because like if you take a 0, like it's just so many teams you can tumble behind in 1 week because you're playing against 677,000 teams in that opening contest. So like I do like is it playing the single QB may make you win in that contest and could win you $3 million. There's like no proof that will help you win, which some people don't really think about that sometimes. Like there's no proof that single QB actually does much for you. Pretty much everyone behind us is loaded. Does Jalen Hurts team have anything going on? No, he does. He has something that goes with Stroud. Could take Stroud and hope to get one of Dell or those people back. Really like Marvin Mims or Jaden Reed here. If we do go 1 QB too, we could go back to 7 running backs, which would be nice. Yeah, I think Laporta and Mayer, if you like find that you're picking them ahead of ADP, it's like totally fine. They're like a massive tier break and undervalued. Like obviously you'd rather be taking them around ADP, but like you saw how just like devastated tight end was, which it didn't really matter. We have Mark Andrews, so we could have waited longer. But I felt like Laporta is like a guy that's got like definite flex appeal. Pretty happy to take Jaden Reed there. I like him a little bit better than Mims. I actually like Mims better as a player, but Jaden Reed definitely has like a better opportunity in front of him. So 12 picks away. We have the options of Ritter. We have the option of Baker. We also have the option of one QB. I guess the last pick I'd want to kind of take Hardy or Shakir. So hopefully this guy takes Stroud. He might just one quarterback as well with Hurts, which is totally reasonable, especially in the puppy contest. I like Marvin Mims and Dell a lot. So if one of them is available in round 18, I'm going to have a really hard time going with a Deontay Hardy or Khalil Shakir stack option for Josh Allen. Good news is with Josh Allen, obviously Josh Allen can get there with rushing. So, well, I feel like it's pretty difficult for us to get completely rugged at quarterback now. Because, like, I'll just take naked Stroud if Ritter goes. Nice. Shakir went already, right? Yep. Okay. Oh, is that not his name anymore? I spelled it wrong. Yep. So generally, like when I go zero running back, I'm going 7 or 6, usually a 2-7-7-2 or a 2-6-8-2. 2-6-7-3 I've definitely done before as well. But like you have to get pretty lucky with feeling good enough about this room to do that. Nathan Dell is a pretty big outlier, so I could see going Hardy here. I just feel like, yes, Dell is so much more upside than Hardy. Really don't need to like double stack Josh Allen because of his rushing TD ability. We also have the miracle chance that he can throw a pass to Damien Harris. Please someone just take Nathan Dell so I don't like have to make this choice. All right. We're gonna have like a million Nathan Dell in our portfolio. We've seen that Deontay Hardy can do a little bit of something, so it's also an undrafted player, which gives you a lot of leverage on the field. Like if he is the guy that pops up in week 17, scores like a long touchdown, say he has 3 catches for 70 yards and a TD, which is definitely possible for Hardy. Then that's like a guy that other teams just won't have access to. I mean, there'll be some, but in the finals, you may legitimately be the only Deontay Hardy team if you get there with him, because there won't be a whole bunch of them. Take a look at Silas's team here. Got Gino. Ended up taking Fant to go with him. Bijan, Chubb, Charbonnet, Warren. Dell ended up being a really good value in round 18 here, in my opinion. So I guess I'll review my team now so that I can take a look at Silas's after the draft ends. I try to look at it now every time a pick goes. They're going to boot us out. So we ended up with Josh Allen and Ritter. For Josh Allen, we ended up with Damian Harris. I would not say as a stocking option, but as an offensive bet. We ended up with Deontay Hardy and Stephon Diggs as stacking options. For Ritter, we ended up with Drake London, and we have a bet on the offense in Tyler Algier. I also just really like Tyler Algier as a contingent back. I mean, he had 1,000 yards rushing and not even a full season last year. And if something happens to Bijan, then he's going to be real valuable. So really like this group of running backs. Tons of upside. Obviously, like Penny will probably get hurt, but Keandre and Roschon can rise to the top of their depth charts without injuries. Or at least it can be Keandre splitting mostly with Kamara once Kamara's back, and Jamal could be a semi bit of a dead body. The Saints don't have as much loyalty towards him as his previous teams did, meaning just he hasn't been there as long. So quarterbacks, obviously fantastic. We have Josh Allen. Running backs, as far as zero RB goes, this is a fantastic group. Wide receiver is like, usually when you're drafting zero RB, your group's going to be a little bit better than this. This is like a mediocre zero RB group, but we did get like very nice value on JSM and incredible value on MVS, but like this value might be meaningless because it's MVS. Tight end, we're rocking and rolling with Andrews and Laporta. Appears this draft is stuck on the last pick. So I'm just going to look at Silas's team real quick and then wrap it up. So Gino, Goff, and Howell. He's got Charbonnet for Gino. He's got Lockett for Gino. Fant. Don't like Fant much this year. I think with JSN coming in, the Fant's just pretty much a dead body. Got Terry to go with Howell and Curtis Samuel. For Goff, he ended up with just JMO. His team's not looking too bad. I think that this, as far as 5 RB groups go, is like, it could kind of go badly, but it's not terrible. It depends like how good Zach Charbonnet is while Kenneth Walker is healthy. Like if Zach Charbonnet is still like a top 24 running back, which is definitely possible, and this group's probably definitely good enough. If Zach Charbonnet ends up more of like a RB3, RB4 type guy, well, I guess it wouldn't be an RB4, but more of an RB3, this group seems like it could be okay. This wide receiver group doesn't look that good. He only has 7 wide receivers. He's starting off down a wide receiver at Jameson Williams. Curtis Samuel, who could like not really be involved. Lockett, who could be having one of his worst seasons with a lot more competition. Gabe Davis, who can vanish for multiple games at a time. So I think as far as Silas's team goes, it's like quarterback's obviously fine. Definitely enough upside there. Running back's like good enough, but it's not like amazing. It's just like very good. It has the top 2 guys, but like what's behind them could be anything. Could be awesome, could be not much. The wide receiver group looks pretty weak. I actually think this is kind of a bad wide receiver group. And the tight ends is like, yeah. Like Greg Dulcich is okay, but I don't think he's like a star or anything. And Noah Fant is kind of a dead body to me, and Mike Gesicki's kind of bleh. So overall, I didn't love his team in this one. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching, folks, and good luck in your drafts.